here today for a very special occasion. As you may know by now, we have been hard at work with the Maraython, and it just seems fair to help with it with our very own review of not one, but two titles of the Limitless Lad that I do consider deserve much more attention. And I do believe we should tell you a little story beforehand. Back in the early 2010s, the Rayman franchise was having a resurgence thanks to Origins and Legends, and this was shown with many of the stuff that was released at the time, like special videos, some collaborations, and surprisingly, some complimentary games made for the app stores. Android and Apple devices got the chance to enjoy for the minimum price of $1.99 each a pair of Rayman titles designed to be sweet and short experiences that also served as a promotion for the mainline titles. They weren't just average day mobile games, they were Rayman adventures on their own right, and today we shall look back onto these titles and see what made them tick. Although the titles are long gone from the app stores for quite some time now, I managed to install the Windows Store versions of these titles thanks to Ray Carrot's decompilation. These versions have some specific ways and conditions to consider before installing, but they work pretty damn well. Special thanks to him and his fantastic crew. Well, with all that said, I do believe we should start with the video now, right? Oh wait a minute, we can't. Yeah, I forgot to present myself. That was one of the rules of the marathon. Okay, we'll do this quickly. So, hello people from all places and races. My name is Sparkin Waters. My friends call me Spark and some others call me Wikakuti inside different Twitter spaces. I'm a Bolivian YouTuber that currently studies international business and has dedicated almost my entire YouTube career to the wonderful community known as the Rabbids fandom. I've done countless videos and art pieces about them for the last 3 years that range from crossovers to multiverses to even stuff more personal for them, animatics, plush videos. We have really done it all. I have a passion for video games, for reading, for writing especially, and I actually do have a special connection with Rayman. Kind of an odd story in which the first game was Origins, even though I've known the character for a bit long, even heck before knowing about the Rabbids. But yeah, Origins was the first title I've ever played, and ever since then I became a fan of the franchise. Even though I'm not what you would say part of the community and my energies have gone onto the Rabbids fandom, I have a deep love and appreciation for the Rayman community and everything they have ever done. That's part of the reason why I decided to collaborate with Mackenzie on this particular project. So, now that I present myself properly, it is time to finally start with the review. Rayman Jungle Run was a mobile game made by Pasta Games that was released shortly after Origins, hence why it uses its same art style. The title is an automatic runner platformer in which Rayman runs on his own through the distinct environments of the gibberish jungle while you control his actions in order to make it to the goal and get a good result. The gameplay consists of basically pressing, or in this case touching, two commands, one that serves for the jump and glide and the other one which is used for the attacks. Your objective on each level is to try to get the most amount of lumps possible inside every level, being a total of 100 on each stage. If you manage to get them all, you will receive a skull tooth, and if you get 5 of them for every world, you gain access to the Land of the Living Dead level from each world, which is more so a time attack level that is a tad bit harder compared to the normal levels. Even though the idea of a Rayman autorunner seems like a boring and typical idea for a mobile title, its execution is actually pretty good. The game isn't complex in terms of gameplay, but the level design and smart AI make the experience a pleasant one. Every single good and bad thing that happens to you inside every level never feels random because you know it was your doing. With a few minor exceptions because the game has some minor glitches, but they're not all that common and may just be from the version we are playing. The only remarkable issue I see here is the content. The game has a total of 50 levels at launch, and later on 20 more were added. And although they are all well designed, most of them aren't really difficult since most of them focus on a specific mechanic, like punching and gliding. Not to mention that after completing all the levels with all the skull teeth, there isn't much to do. All in all, Jungle Run is a good game that I do believe you should check out. It ain't gonna be the best showcase of what this franchise is, but it's a good place to start before heading to the grand adventures since it's a game that can be completed in 2 or 3 hours. 6 out of 10. A short but sweet experience. Rayman Fiesta Run was a mobile game developed by Neko Entertainment that was released shortly after Legends, and well, that's why it has its exact same looks. The title is pretty much the same as its prequel. Rayman runs automatically and you must control his actions as you head to the goal while collecting every loom you can. The gameplay is exactly the same. It simply became a bit more refined thanks to some of the options available for it. With that in mind, you would say that Fiesta Run is just Jungle Run with a new coat of paint, right? Well, in theory, yeah it is, but there's much more to it than you would expect, my friend. For starters, the progression system is the same, in which you get something special depending on the number of lums you collected. Just that instead of gems and skull teeth, you rescue the teensies. But now, every teensy you rescue helps you unlock a step in the large trail that unlocks new levels. Now it is necessary to try and get all the lums you can since they are necessary to unlock all of the available levels of the game. Not only that, but the entire content of the game has been revamped in an incredible way. After finishing a level with all 100 lums, not only you rescue all the teensies that help you progress through the game, not only you get a small crown showing this tiny achievement, but we also unlock a harder version of said level. It's a remixed version of the level in which there are new hazards and dangers, so you gotta be more careful. And it doesn't end there! As what happened in Jungle Run, we get a small extra world that brings in a new environment. And though you have to play a lot to unlock it, the candy world is totally worth it. Not to mention that further in the game, you also unlock something that I like to call sudden death mode. Here, you gotta go through all the hard versions of the main levels and complete them in one go without any power-ups for a big reward. However, if at any given point you lose in one of these levels, you have to start all over again. Something that is just very fun and incredible, although very risky. And there is one more thing we would like to mention. The lums you recollect after every level can be used to buy stuff like costumes and power-ups that will make our runs feel much more alive and unique. You can replay the levels all the time you want and buy the Christmas costume for Rayman while using the Golden Heart power-up in the more difficult levels. Everything we have mentioned just increases the replay value of the title and encourages you to try and try again to get everything you want and get better at the game. It's simply amazing! What Fiesta Run did is take everything that Jungle Run did well and crank it up to 11 to make it much more of a unique experience. It makes everything much more accessible, much more intuitive, and of course, much more fun. I'd say it's even a tad bit hard to go back to Jungle Run after playing this thanks to all the new features. And also because of the delicious candy and food theme that the levels have. It really feels like a proper sequel. Folks, you gotta check this one out. It's a 7.2 out of 10. You know, it's been great to actually be able to play these titles after so long. I remember back in the day when in my old phone there used to be the ads for the game and the game got promoted in the App Store saying how awesome it was. I saw the levels, the aesthetic. It looked like a fun experience because I was with a Rayman Mania back in the day. And unfortunately I wasn't able to play them for various reasons. Time went by. I changed the phones, the games got delisted, I got into other stuff. But finally I'm here. I was able to finally play the games and review it for all of you, and it just feels nice. They're sweet little titles. They're good games that you should try out. They're nothing to write home about, but they are pleasant experiences that you should totally try. Once again, we want to thank Ray Carrot and his fantastic team for decompiling this game and making it available for everyone. I want to thank you especially for joining us on this very sweet review for the Maraython. And of course, a special shout out to Rayman Together and to James McKenzie for helping us organize all this. And it's just been great being able to be part of this. It's been great to work on something together. What else is there to say, folks? I'll see you around!